Hi people, welcome to another episode of Field or Play. My name is Elite Mokpo and you're welcome. Well, it's been a couple of days, right? Don't worry, I'm back for you. Kindly remember to subscribe, like the page and also click on the notification bell. I have some sad news for you. When we come back, I'll give you the details. Stay tuned. Lepowura MND Jawula, former chairman of the GFA from 1997 to 2001, passed away a couple of days ago. My condolences to the family, friends and close associates and also the entire football fraternity. We've lost a legend, we've lost a great man, one of the very greats who did Ghana very proud. If you remember, on the first season of the Field of Play, we sat down and had a conversation with MND Jawula. He told us about his history, his life story. So on this day, I want us to just have a quick look at it, just do a recap and share in his memories. Stay tuned.
We talked to former president of the Ghana Football Association, Alhaji Mohammed Nuruddin Jawula,
I
to tell us more.
Was born to my father, who later became the king of Isgonja, Lepowura Abdullahi. My mother is from Accra, Hajiya Suibatu, combination of Hausa Ghana from Kaolin. And I was born an only child. Eventually, I've had a number of children, 7 children in all. School in Pandai, went to Tamale Secondary School, the famous school. That recently knocked at Achimota, as you know. Then from there, I had an exchange program in the UK. I went to part of my sixth form in the UK, Stroud in Gloucestershire. Came back to Ghana to the University of Cape Coast. Went back to my alma mater, Tamasco, to go and teach for 2 years. I was head of economics. I was responsible for the exams, internal and external exams. And then from there, I went to the University of Ghana, Legon, to do a master's in African literature. Thereafter, I joined the civil service of Ghana for so many years, served in many places, in Tamale, in Yendi, in Gambaga, Walewale, Tolong, and then back to the Ministry of Finance here in Accra. Before going to the Ministry of Finance, I went to Canada, to Caltech University. Did a program there. And from there came to Ministry of Finance. Moved to head of administration. And then in between, I went into football. It used to be it used to be called GAFA, Ghana Amateur Football Association. It was so until when Nana Butler was chairman and I was his vice chairman. In our days, we were calling chairman. And then E.T. Mensah was the minister. We put our heads together and then moved it to professional. But I believe at that time it was just by name. The salaries were not good, the standards were not good. That is in terms of the level of professionalism. The football was good. They know that we had bigger crowds at Kotoko House, pulled massive crowds. But technically, perhaps we were not right there. But I think that the important thing in our time, and which is still so, was the importance of the various national teams. Perhaps in our time we were stronger at the youth level, and this time perhaps we are stronger at the Black Star level. There's no good reason why we're not strong at the Black Star level, because we're some of the best area of world-class football, the presence of Abedi Pele, Tony Yeboah, Yao Preku, Siki Akuno, and many others. But luck did not shine on us. We didn't qualify for the World Cup until Nyantachi came and started qualifying 3 times in a row. That one, yes. But at the youth level, as you know, in 1995, I took the under 17 to Ecuador. We won the World Cup. We started from Africa, we went to Guinea, won the African competition, went to Ecuador, won the World Cup, the final match against Brazil, titanic match, excellent match. And under 20, under Afrani got the silver, and then many other things followed. But the league, I would say our league was beautiful, good crowds, especially the two major clubs, Accra Suffolk and Western Central Kotoko, we had lots of crowds in those days. I don't know. These days, there are so many influences that are affecting the numbers of people spectating generally. I believe much of it has to do with the so-called English Premier League and European leagues, where people would rather wait and watch their matches than go to the stadium. I myself don't understand it, because I used to work at the Ministry of Finance. In those days, I don't want to mention governments to compare governments, but we had a Ministry of Finance, we had a cabinet subcommittee on football in those days when I was at the GFA, first as a vice chairman, later as the chairman of the GFA, where the lives of Totobi Kwachi and the late Mr. Atta, the chief director of the Ministry of Finance, many of them who served on that committee. And so matters of football were quick. I don't understand why government cannot put money into football, because I've personally made requests, appeals, like Alhaji Jawula to government. Every year, we're not asking for too much. 10 million cedis will go very far. At least it will look after the players, and we can pay the players, which is always a difficult matter for the clubs. And perhaps we can do a bit of travel. And it will bring the game up and prevent a lot of problems that we face. So this is yet another appeal to the government. Please, look at the face of football once more. Put some money into it. When we have the youth follow football, it puts them out of trouble. They don't go doing funny stuff that they should not be doing. And I believe that will be good for the country, it will be good for our society. And out of that, we can make a certain move forward. Football started a bit early when I served in the rural area, when I was DC for Walwale. I started a football team called Walwale Holala. It looked at that time very simple, but not knowing it was a big step towards the bigger game, the bigger arena. I used to invite RTU to Walwale, and my interest got exciting. So when I was back to Tamale on transfer, I was invited to come and be the vice chairman of RTU and the Buginabu. That's how I got into football, essentially. From there, of course, as I said, I came to the Ministry of Finance. There was an election to Galka, the Ghana League clubs. I won the election, and through that, I became the vice chairman of Galka. And through that, I won another election to go as a member of the GFA. And that was my main entry. Once I entered as a member, I became eventually a vice chairman, and I became the chairman of the GFA. The most important thing for me is to make our league attractive. How to make it attractive? Officiating must be excellent. If people know that they are going to watch a match without technical interference by way of officials manipulating matches and manufacturing free kicks and red and yellow cards and so on, then people will be happy to go. But if people begin to think that this match is already determined, and today there are so many stories of betting that is not good for the game, and it is said, I don't have the evidence, it is said that the betting companies have infiltrated football, and sometimes we're not sure of the results. As chairman of the Premier League, that has been brought before me, but I read in the social media wild talks, wild allegations. But I think something that the GFA must look at quite closely. Well, it's going autonomous precisely because we have stayed in the past a bit in the expectation that perhaps we will get good funding from government and other stakeholders, but it is not coming. Perhaps the belief is that if we're autonomous, the clubs themselves will go out there, go and see corporate bodies, will put more money in the league, put more money in the league, players play better. Our league becomes exciting, becomes attractive. Perhaps we want to look at what's happening in South Africa and some other countries where their players would rather stay, where even Ghanaian players want to go and play in South Africa. Meanwhile, the league is not that different. But if we could get an autonomous structure that is being envisaged. Perhaps it's a way to bring more money into football and to make our football a bit more attractive and closer to whatever is happening, at least in Asia. This is standard practice. It has been standard practice in Ghana, in Kenya, in Nigeria, in England, everywhere. It explains why you register 30 players. There are historical antecedents. Before I even answer your question, in 1985, RTU had to go to Korea to represent Ghana, the Black Stars, because there was no Black Star easily accessible, and at that time RTU was at the top of the league. We went to Korea, and the league had to continue in our absence. We were there for about 2 weeks. 2-3 matches were played by our second team. That was it. As luck will have it, our second team did so well. Out of 3 matches, they won 2 and lost 1. That is the nature of the game everywhere. And so you're not supposed to use the very 18 players you have used all the time. You have up to 30 players. And that is done everywhere. These are the standards. But when teams don't do well, then they want to put the blame on somebody. If it were a Kotoko, any other team, Ashgold, RTU, the same thing would happen. At the moment, you know, Manchester United is not in its best shape, but it goes to the CAF Champions League this week. The next week is playing the league, it's playing FA Cup. That is the standard. You can't do much about that. We cannot pamper anybody in the league as it were. That is how it is. Even when it comes to selection to the Black Stars, you have your players playing in the Black Stars or for that matter, any national team, and you have a league match. Unless it's more than 3 or 4, the league must go on with your best players outside. That is standard practice. You have a coach coaching one of the premier sides or whatever, and then he must leave and go and train national team. He has to leave and it's substitute coach goes to handle it. That is standard. That's why I was laughing. You know, you can't do much about that one. The thing is for you to strategize. You watch sometimes, even only yesterday, Ronaldo was substituted at one point. I knew at that time Manchester United were leading and they just wanted perhaps to save him for another match. It's standard practice. When our ladies, Azaka's ladies, when they went out to Cairo in a particular match where they thought was safe, they rested Evelyn, their star player, so that she could rest and prepare for another match. It's normal. Interesting question. When I was in Walewale, I found Walewale Holala. I invited RTU, just the second year of its formation to Walewale. I thought I'd form a formidable team in the rural area that was very good strikers and I thought a goalkeeper. RTU came with Cho and others and came and trashed us 5-0. So it was quite interesting, but I entertained them. By the time I went back on transfer to Tamale after 3 or 4 years, RTU needed a vice chairman to Burinabu. And it looked so obvious. I was then working at the regional administration. Alhaji Jawula, who were then leading the club, suggested to me to go and be vice chairman of RTU, and I entered as vice chairman. From there was a need to push Burinabu aside and take over, and I became the chairman of RTU. After so many years, after Aliu Mama, I became the board chairman. And it has been my vein. Prior to that, I was a hard supporter. But you know, RTU has 2 sides. Some originally were Hearts, some were Kotoko. And so when Kotoko come to Accra, those of us who were Hearts people, we don't want to give way at all. And when Hearts of Oak, when Kotoko come to Tamale, those of us who are Hearts of Oak, we don't want to give way. And when Hearts come, those who are Kotoko don't want to give way. That's why the matches are always tough, very interesting. Because then we look at the face and say, oh, my friend, don't play any tricks with us. So that makes the game very interesting for RTU anytime we play at home. I didn't do much politics. Politics, yes, I made an attempt to be running mate to Nanado, but it didn't get traction, and that was it. I didn't worry myself from that. I just went into chieftaincy, and I've been lying low. I'm happy to be a chief. I've kept my political ambitions on the quiet, and I feel I get a good sleep as a result. Perhaps if you had given me 3 days, I'd give you a better answer. But straight away, people may not agree with me, but that is up to them. Instead of 2, let me say 3. Nana Butler, Mr. Tiskin, who I worked under, was exceptional, solid. He did everything, gave us a good leadership, and I followed after him. We didn't qualify for the World Cup, unfortunately. Then, of course, the next is the guy who has been bastardized, scandalized, unfortunately, Kusin Yantechi, who 3 times took us to the World Cup. I mean, and we're just trying one more time and look at what some of guys do to us, but of course they will not succeed. Then the third one, of course, is President Kirk. Excellent to me. So far, so good. I believe he'll get another term, and when he gets another term, Ghana football will go very far. It links up with what you said about government not putting money into football. If any FA president would come and go to government and say, look, don't worry, anything you want politically we shall do for you. Government will put a lot of money, we shall all be happy. But it will not favor the game because we are not in a one-party state. People forget that's the difference. And then Nkrumah, Ghana was one-party state at one point. There was no question about that. And if you also look, even under the PNDC, we're doing well because it was a military regime. Today, you push hard, they say you are MPP. You push hard, they say you are NDC. And then it leads to problems. So, it is up to the politicians to understand this very well. But that understanding is hard because the politicians, the Minister of Finance, who is going to make the vote, belongs to a particular political party. And if government wants certain matches to be played for certain purposes and the GFA is not forthcoming, they'll say, don't worry yourself about them. We don't have much time for them. They don't like us. That's always the refrain. Politicians that say, oh, these people, they don't like us. Or the FA people, they don't like us. Yes, they don't like it because if you look at the FA currently, you are trying to link me with politics. The same thing. You are right. Football is linked up with politics, and within the football fraternity, as I sit here, I can mention names from A to Z and tell you where they belong to politically. Nana Butler, Adekoka, Enchu Jemfi, Kojo Fiano, and so on. We know where they all belong to. This is not a political interview, so I will not tell you where their parties are, but everybody knows this. So as soon as the things about Kojo Fiano, people know this is it. When the things about Enchu, people say, oh, this is the issue. Yes. In the same way, that is what happens at the higher level. Definitely, it's not at the presidential level. The president don't have time for this. But either the Minister of Finance or the Minister of Sports or other ministers who show interest in football would always find a way to commit football to do things in their own way. So the advice is more to the politicians. If we want the best results for Ghana, let's do that way. Yes, when Ghana eventually qualifies for the World Cup, it's true. We all come together, we all fight together. I've been on a flight to the World Cup in South Africa, and I saw people of all persuasions. We were all together with the Ghana flag. We were all praying for Ghana. We were not saying it's in this regime or that regime. But in the lead up to these qualifications, governments should also do their best to put some money into it. And I hope that politicians are watching me. And when they go to the cabinet room, they should take me serious, because when the fish comes out of the water to say the crocodile is not well, you must believe him. Remember my experiences. I think, like I said, the youth teams, my under 20 team had played like ACN, Mutari and others in preparation for the Black Stars. When I look back, yes. My only regret is the Ecuador team that won the World Cup, but Audisaka and others didn't come up the way we wanted, to shine. I look back on matches played by Bedipele, Tony Yeboah. Away matches, we did well. We beat Cameroon in their country, we beat Liberia in their country. Nigeria was scared of us. Big matches, I think about those all the time. And I also think about our times with E.T. Mensah, the politician, where he fought on his side and also fought on our side. But it was all a fight without knocking heads or breaking bones. In the end, we had some fun. I had one memorable moment that I can share. E.T. Mensah will not like it, but I have to share it because after many years, he should understand. Soon after my appointment as chairman of the GFA, I went to the stadium. Ghana was playing a match. I went to the stadium a bit late, perhaps some 10 minutes late. And when I went, somebody, perhaps a soldier, had sat on my chair. And the butler, who I just handed over, he had a lot of fatty jokes. He said, "You say you are the chairman of the GFA. Look, your chair has been taken away and you are looking on." I was not happy about it. So I asked the man, so E.T. Mensah put you there. E.T. Mensah put you there. It's okay. So I sat quietly. So at halftime, I told Mr. Mensah, I said, "Sir, I've something to discuss with you." He said, okay, why not? So we went on the side and said, "Mr. Mensah, Honorable, you've taken my chair and given it to somebody." He said, "My friend, if you want a good chair, come early." I said, "Thank you." So I said, "Let me tell you, Mr. Minister, this is a Accra Sports Stadium. I'm in charge. It's not the cabinet room at Oshu Castle." He looked at me and said nothing. After the game, he said, "Look, my friend, I want to see you." I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "I have something to discuss with you." He told me, Mr. Mensah, and he said, "I don't like the way he spoke to me." I said, "Oh," I said, "Me too. I thought about it. I think I went over the bar. I'm sorry." He said, No, it's not. You must do it the right way." He said, I asked him, I said, "Like what?" "You must slaughter a sheep." I said, "I must slaughter a sheep." He said, "Yes." I said, "Okay, don't worry." I said for my driver, I said, "Zubero, tomorrow take a sheep to Mr. Itman. Did you know his house?" I said, "Yeah, I know his house. Take a sheep to his house." And then we shook hands. That was one of the extreme ways in which, very interesting story, the Ghanaians are heading for the first time, that we settled some of our matters. Very serious matters, but then we found a way to go about it and we moved on. Favorite food? I can't have one, but two in the carbohydrate branch. 3, cocoa, house of cocoa, say, kenke, and fish, and fufu and abenkwai. All of them are related. Kenke because I was born here in Accra, in Cowley. I got used to kenke, and the fish was just next door at Gamashi, just there by the lighthouse. I used to eat a lot of fish and even shialo when it was in season. Then, as a cocoa, of course, as a child, that was my mother brought me up with. I cannot forget the taste of it. And fufu is the Gonja favorite soup, only that it goes more with light soup, but I like it with the abenkwai. So when you see me at Heavy Do in Adabaka, don't be surprised. Reggae. Oh, definitely Bob Marley. I can sing, but I'm a chief now. I'll not be allowed to sing it in public. But I can do this. The 3 little birds. I am Lepowura MND Jawula. I'm a traditional ruler at the moment, usually president of the Ghana Football Association. I want to ask you, request you specifically to keep watching Field of Play. Nini Lepowura Basara Kenike daga kasan Gonjawa. Ina so ku ta duba Field of Play. Ya taimaki kowa da abin da ake gudana game da kolon kafa.
Welcome back. So there you have it, a brief history about the life of MND Jawula, the former chairman of the GFA. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Kindly remember to subscribe, like, and share the video, and also click on the notification bell. My name is Elitete Domokpo, and you've been watching The Field of Play. See you next time.